Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is DFree. Welcome back to another video, and we're going to be talking about the top duos in the game. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video nonetheless. Subscribe if you're new, of course, as always. Now, without further ado, I do want to start off with honorable mentions. For one, forgive me if I forget anybody or any duo. Let me know in the comment section. For example, honorable mentions would be Super Saiyan Blue, Goku, and Vegeta, AGL, right? Two really good cards, but they just don't make it into the top tier list. So those guys. And another one that I wanted to kind of talk about was LRs, because the LR cards all really have really good buddies. For example, Gohan can go with Piccolo well. He also can go with Intelligent Super Saiyan Rage Trunks. He goes really well with him because Trunks supplies him with the ki and allows for Gohan to get a super off easier. They do have Super Saiyan and Fierce Battle and Prepare for Battle, so they link really, really well. Physical Ginyu, he links with, honestly enough, he links probably best with the SR Goku Ginyu guy, but, you know, since he's a supporting unit, basically the whole entire physical team runs really well with him, so I wouldn't really put anybody in particular with him. As far as popping off links, probably SR Ginyu, but you wouldn't run that physical Ginyu. And then Frieza has Fura, the STR fusion of Cooler and Frieza from the Dragon Ball Fusions banner, which still hasn't come to global. Piccolo and Gohan go really well together, LR Piccolo, LO Gohan. There's probably somebody else that Piccolo can link really well with. I haven't really looked into it. Androids linked very well with AGL, Android 18. She supplies ki as well, so they link really well. And Goku, as always, we know that he links really well with that Tech Bardock. They get a lot of ki due to Bardock's passive, and Bardock also supplies him with attack boost via Super Saiyan and Family Ties. But kind of what holds back a lot of these pairings is the fact that they don't have like Fierce Battle and things like that, so it kind of holds them back. And also, you know, we're going to talk about basically top pairings for the mono teams at this point. So anyways, hope you enjoy. We're going to get into the actual pairings. And as far as that goes, there's no particular order to this. It's just me talking about it and giving my thoughts. And once again, if there's anything I forgot, let me know in the comment section. I'm going to try to cover as much as I can. For example, looking at it, Super Saiyan 4, Goku, and Vegeta, they're a really, really good pairing. They're not part of this list. Same with Intelligence Cooler, with Physical Cooler, really good pairing. Merge Zamasu and Rose are really good pairings. They're just not part of this list in particular. So I didn't forget them. I just want to let you know that. And Beerus and Whis, good pairing once again. All right, next one. So we're going to start off with, I was just talking about him, Super Saiyan 4, Goku, right? We know this guy, we know what he does, we know how hard he hits and how powerful he is, but a really underrated card on his team, a really underrated unit, on his team, is his best buddy, Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku. Yeah, Goku and Goku go perfectly together. This guy gives him all of his attack links, Super Saiyan, Kamehameha. He doesn't have Limit Break and Form. The other one doesn't have that. He gives him GT, Saiyan Roar, and Fierce Battle. On top of giving him all of those links, the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, he gives him 33% more of attack power. So he's basically giving this guy, you guys do the math, that's 10%, that's 2,500, or is that 15%? Super Saiyan's 15. I'm not going to click it. My OCD is killing me, so let me check. It's 15. 10, 15, 15, 15. 10. I knew it. I knew it was 10. Anyways, 10%, 2,500 more attack. GT's 2 ki. That's 15% or 25. 25. 25. 25. I was right. And Fierce Battle, which is 15. My head hurts from math. And then he gives him 33% more via the passive. This guy, in and of himself, hits really hard too. And they're both STR units, so they're both getting the buff from the Super Saiyan 4 Goku's leader skill. And all in all, you have a guy who's getting, without any dupe system stuff, just looking at, you know, when I do these reviews on these cards and analysis, I want to make sure that people understand I'm not doing these based on what you have in your box, because everybody's situation is 100% different. I'm not basing it off my experience or my box. I'm just looking at every available card and giving you general analysis. That's it. Your cards may be different from what I have available here. You may have a better linking partner for the Goku than Super Saiyan 3 Goku, if that's something that you have in your box. You know, that's what all of our analyses are. From me, Alex, anybody else in the community that does them. We cannot speak for everybody. It's just a general thing. So I wanted to kind of make sure people understand that, because I got a little hate on the Majub one. It wasn't that bad. I just want to make people understand that. And so what I was saying is, you have a guy that has 11,000 attack without dupe system stuff. His attack scat, mine is at like 14,000 right now, 15,000, something like that. So it gets really, really high. And then he has 120%. You're running two of them, him and a friend, so that's 240%. Then that Goku giving him all of those links off, and this guy gets 150% up. So, Really, really powerful guy. That's why this guy starts to hit for like 3 million, 4 million damage, depending on where you're super attacking at. So all in all, really, really good team as far as those two go. And just an option here as far as STR goes. You guys know I'm in love with the mono teams. Just as far as STR goes, everybody's kind of interchangeable except for these three. When you have Goku and double Goku actually, and Gogeta. Gogeta's a nice secondary hitter because he hits for about 1 million damage on this team at Super Attack 10. And with a little bit of dupe system integration, and Gogeta gets some of the best increases via the dupe system. So they're very good together. And I mean, you can throw everybody else in. You can throw in this Gohan who has Kamehameha, Fierce Battle, and Prepare for Battle, and he has Super Saiyan. Links really well there with these guys. And you can't forget the fact that Super Saiyan 3 Goku does supply 33% more to everybody, not just Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So if you can, you want to get them in the same rotation. And then you can have other hard hitters or whatever you want to do. You can throw in Majub, you can throw in Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, one of the two. Omega Shenron if you want. The only reason why, this is something else for my Majub video. People need to understand one thing. Super Saiyan 4 Goku does not like villain cards. And same goes for Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. That's the only reason why I would say Majub is a viable option on the team as opposed to Omega. Trust me, I love Omega. He's one of my favorite cards in the game. It's just he gets 2 key at 100% from the 2 Super Saiyan 4 Goku leads, while Majub gets 6 key, links well, and gets 240%. It's a really big difference there. And kind of does the same thing. And Majub's super attack lowers the enemy's attack, but that stacks, right? It stays. Omega Shenron's passive only is active when he's on the field. So it's a completely different scenario. So when a villain version of that STR comes out, you can start running like LR Frieza, Omega, Cell, even Evil Boo here can be nice. But anyways, that's the STR pairing. I'm only doing one for STR, AGL, and Physical. Like I said, mono teams. New style mono teams. So that's that. Let's move on to the physical one. And here we have probably the hardest hitting tandem in the game. We have Cooler and Full Power Frieza. Let me explain. Cooler gets 100% up, attack and defense, unconditional, just guaranteed. He also gets a guaranteed additional attack with a medium chance of that attack being a super attack. It's not guaranteed. He does have 11,000 attack rounding up, and that's pretty nice as well. One buff on him that is kind of is 140% key multiplier. I think the Goku and Vegeta are 150%. That's why they hit harder than him. It's not a crazy difference as far as, how hard they hit, but Cooler does get that additional attacks. That's probably why they did that, because he can mess around and do 3 super attacks in a turn. He can have his passive go off, and then he can use the dupe system one for another attack, and he can mess around and have 3 attacks in a turn. So Cooler is very RNG based, so he's not consistent, but at the same time, Cooler's very underrated. I feel like some people overrate him and some people underrate him. Don't get me wrong, Cooler is still one of the best cards in the game. I'm not going to get into whether Goku or Vegeta is better than each other because it doesn't really matter. It depends on your playstyle, but Cooler's right up there with those two. Whether or not he gets 120% like Vegeta or not, he does have the chance to do 3 super attacks, and you can't overlook that. And if you have enough dupes, you can give him critical hits and things like that. So he starts to be a card like Vegito Blue, actually, who Vegito Blue gets a lot of hate. And from me, too. Like, I hated on him a lot when he came out. But I will say that there are turns where that guy can be the best card in the game, depending on RNG. So there's that. Now, his buddy, right? Immense damage and greatly lowers defense on Cooler, by the way. But his buddy, Frieza, immense damage, 120% up when performing a super attack. Does have 8,000 attack, which isn't really that high. 12 key multiplier of 130%. Frieza is one of those older cards. Now, on DBZ.space, they have a list of cards, and they also break down how much increase they get from the dupe system stat increases. So Frieza's attack, I believe, gets to about 15,000. So those older Dokkan Fest cards that were like 3 key and 3,000 attack, like him, Gogeta, Intelligence Gohan, Ultimate Gohan, and Super Saiyan 3 AGL Goku, they get really good buffs from there. Now, Frieza in particular is really special, right? Because, he has an immense modifier. There was only a couple of them, I believe, that came out with that, and that's him and Gogeta. They add immense modifiers, and Frieza's really good and is going to stay really good because he has 120% up when performing a super attack. That is a buff that they still use to this day. Frieza's passive and super attack mechanic were well beyond their time, which is why he's so good now. And the thing is, he pops off most of Cooler's links too, so then you have 2 units hitting consistently, not even factoring in the fact that Cooler needs, passive to go off and stuff like that. Just every turn, they're both hitting at least 800k at Super Attack 10 on a double Cooler led team. and then factoring in the dupe system stuff, and then factoring in, this is just me talking about them at Super Attack 10. That's personally from experience. And factoring the dupe system increases, making their attack higher. So obviously the attack stat being higher on Frieza means that the passive gets more damage, and the leader skills would benefit Frieza more. So Frieza is a really, really hard-hitting card. But once again, you see another situation where he's so early beyond his time, they gave him 130% on a modifier or multiplier for the ki. He came out now, he'd have at least 140, which would benefit him greatly. He still hits really hard because he has all those links. And honestly, Big Bad Boss is such a controversial link, right? A polarizing link, because it's a really good damaging one, but it has a restriction on it. That being said, the second you get hit, even if you're doing your super attacks, you're in the process of attacking the enemy, the second that you get hit and drop below that meter for, like, I think it's 80%, you got to be below 80%. When you get below that, Big Bad Bosses activates, and it pops off as being one of the best damage increasing links in the game. So let's look at the links that these two share. They share 4 links in particular. So Dokkan Battle Builder is saying that they are going to be Fierce Battle, Universe is Most Malevolent. I know that. Can you show me? Can you show me? So Big Bad Bosses, Fierce Battle, Universe is Most Malevolent. It's not translating. And another one, we'll just actually look. It's a 15% link, so it doesn't really matter. It's not Thirst for Conquest, which is another good link on Cooler. I think it's Strongest Clan in Space. It is Strongest Clan in Space, Big Bad Bosses, Over in a Flash, and Fierce Battle. And wait, no, Over in a Flash. He has Universe is Most Malevolent, Strongest Clan, Big Bad Bosses, and Fierce Battle, right? Big Bad Bosses, Strongest Clan, Most Malevolent, and Fierce Battle. Yep, popping off 4 out of 7 of Cooler's links. Really, really good card. And then the other ones, Thirst for Conquest can be really good on him. It's just he doesn't have very many physical buddies to link with. But on villains, it can be very viable. Looking at it here, and that's part of the reason why Intelligence Cooler may be a better partner for him, because Intelligence Cooler also does have that passive to make up for the fact that he doesn't have Fierce Battle. This Intelligence Cooler right here, he has Strongest Clan, Thirst for Conquest. He has, well, that's probably it, actually. Never mind. So, and that passive is 30% and 2 keys. So, those 3 on the field together is going to be really good. But anyways, moving on to the next tandem. We have AGL's tandem of Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and Unparalleled Golden Keys Super Vegito. Probably, I just talked about what's probably the best consistently damaging team, the physical one. Now, we have the best defensive team for sure here. The best defensive tandem. And that doesn't mean anything about STR. The only thing holding them back is the fact that Goku himself doesn't hit very hard, Super Saiyan 3. But, Super Saiyan 4 can hit hard enough to make up for that. So, once again, no particular order. It's just me giving an opinion here. But for sure, best defensive tandem because Super Vegito tanks everything that's not a super attack. But tell you what, this guy, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, does tank super attacks, or not tank them, counter them, dodge and counter. He doesn't take any damage from them. It's just as a medium chance, which generally equates to like 20 or 25%, so it's kind of low. But when it does happen, it's super clutch. 120% up, immense modifier, greatly lowers defense, 12 key multiplier of 150%, 10,500 attack. Really, really good card. Now, you guys know what Super Vegito does. You know Super Vegito, what he excels at. Tanks everything, like I said, for 80%. That's a normal attack. And does counter with tremendous power. His counters can do a lot of damage. So he's like a unit like Vegito Blue that can break off and start doing a lot of binge damage. So he hits pretty hard at that point. And as far as he goes, really, really good stats. And on a double Vegeta lead, he's going to hit really, really hard too, because if you look at him, he doesn't really do much for himself offensively. He's more of a really, really well-rounded unit defensively and offensively. I think I just said he doesn't do anything for himself defensively. I meant offensively. He doesn't really get a passive increase is what I mean, like the Vegeta does, 120% up on the attack. But what he does do, right, is he gives 30% to all allies for 1 turn on a super attack with the Spirit Sword. Now, interesting thing with him is if you give him double attack, right, he can get that 30% off twice, which obviously will allow Vegeta to hit harder or whatever allies there at the moment. So really, really, really good unit. For a long time, he was touted as being the best card in the game up until the Super Saiyan Force came out, in which obviously the game is just changing its meta, so he can kind of not really survive in that. But if you still would tell me today that he's probably the closest thing to a perfect unit, I'd still kind of agree to that. But, it is what it is. Him and Vegeta, Vegeta and what Vegeta's defensive exploits are, and as far as he hits really, really hard. Nowhere near as hard as Goku, because Goku has his own buddy there in that Super Saiyan 3 Goku. But, on a face value level, Vegeta's really, really good offensively and defensively, whereas Goku can take a couple turns, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, to get going defensively from the super attack, increasing his defense by 30%, I believe. So the biggest shaft to this Vegeta is that he does not have his own Super Saiyan 3 Goku to give him all of those links: Saiyan Roar, Super Saiyan, Prepare for Battle, GT, Fierce Battle. But he does have several of them with Super Vegito, which is pretty cool. And like I said, best defensive tandem probably in the game. So looking at it here, intelligence options, or excuse me, AGL options, you have 4 links between those two, and everybody else you can kind of throw in because they're going to do most of the heavy lifting. You can throw in Blue Vegeta, who's a very good secondary tank as well. You can throw in, what's it called? This GT Goku, who links pretty well there. You could throw in Super Saiyan Blue Goku, Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, whatever you want to do. Beerus, you have a lot of options on this team. I didn't really talk too much about physical because I feel like physical is kind of self-explanatory as far as what you would run on a double cooler lead. You know, you run Cooler, Frieza, LR Ginyu whenever that becomes, possible without modding. You'd run him, you'd run Sin Shenron, you'd run Goku Black. It's really, really, really self-explanatory. Full Power Frieza, possibly Kid Buu if you want. They just don't have a lot of options. But as far as this goes, AGL is probably the most well-rounded team in the game. STR is heavily offensively based, but they do have some nice tanks in Majub, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, Super Saiyan 3 GT Vegeta, and if you wanted to really stretch, you can run Omega Shenron. They have a lot of options there. So anyways, let me know your thoughts. If I missed any tandems for these 3 colors at this point, let me know in the comment section down below. I will come back with another one of these whenever Tech and Intelligence, if Intelligence even gets one, because they have Gohan, LR Gohan, who's 90% and 3 key to all types, which is pretty cool. Probably the best leader skill in the game as far as a monotype one goes, because he doesn't differentiate between supers and extreme types, whereas the Super Saiyan 4s and Cooler only like heroes or villains for Cooler's sake. So it's kind of weird, but anyways, I'll be back whenever those 2 types get their own colors. So let me know in the comment section if there's anything you think I missed or anything I should have touched on. But I hope you had an awesome day. Subscribe if you're new as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. But until then, stay swaggy. Peace out, guys.